be one of those top 3 spots.
And again, third place is $2,500. That is a huge sum of money.
Cha-ching.
So again, right now, both these players are in the top 8, but if they win, they could get themselves, thousands of dollars more. There's TTOne at the right. Give a cheer for TTOne if you want him to close the series out. And of course, if you would like EGMachine to pull the comeback and continue his tear in this tournament, oh, look at that swell of support for EGMachine, but he needs to be careful not to do a misclick timing attack early on.
Obviously well-liked player, Machine, both in online competitions and here at live events like MLG. Certainly a favorite. Definitely has not performed as well as he would like to. Notice right off the bat, Machine is going to send his Overlord down south again. Second one will go cross position to try to throw his opponent off, not give away that spot so early.
We do have TTOne spawning at the right position as the higher-seeded red Protoss building the pylon at his ramp, and in the north we see the lower-seeded blue Zerg Machine. And I honestly think that Zerg likes these positions quite a bit, long distances by ground, but close by air, so that Mutila's Harass can be quite potent.
Well, I like what you said also, is it sort of makes a lot of sense, is that when you've got these close positions by air, it means that you sort of split the map right down the middle. Your expansions can go all the way around one side, while your opponent's expansions go all the way around the other side, and it really makes for an interesting game. We see a lot of times these positions can actually yield long games, you know, because of it. Of course, as a Zerg playing against a Protoss, still there's a lot of Protoss mechanics that can become very scary on this map.
Oh, and there's the 14 Nexus getting thrown down by TTOne, taking the gamble. He knows that Zergs love early expanding on this map, but unfortunately we do see Machine has a halfway finished spawning pool, so TTOne is going to need to throw down gateways or Forge very quickly.
But what's this doing here? He sees it right away, knows that the Forge is at the top of the ramp. He takes a couple of nibbles out of that warping in Nexus, and we're going to have a pylon down at the bottom as well. And he definitely knows that something is going on. Now, the pool is very, very close to finishing. In fact, it is done. But it looks like Machine will use that opportunity to go ahead and throw down his hatch as well. Only a couple of Zerglings coming out, so not necessarily any indication that he was going to go for something ultra aggressive. Maybe just using that opportunity to get himself in an economic position as well.
And it looks like TTOne has been sacking probes for a while, has not been making any probes at all. He did the Nexus on 15 probes, and then did the Forge on 16, then Pylon 16, Gateway 16, Cannon 16, and now he's going back to probe production. Very cute little timing. I mean, constant probe production is one of those essentials that every player does, but TTOne knowing how to rearrange his build properly. There's the Queen coming out for Machine. Gas to be able to get Zergling speed or that tech. Expo not quite yet done, and TTOne's is finished. Interesting little role reversal.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? As you expect the other thing completely on the other side. This Overlord, of course, not having a Cybernetics core down is going to get free reign of everything going on inside the base as long as he stays out of range of that cannon. There's a Psy core going down near the expanded Nexus, and still a few Zerglings just out and about checking out the map. Overlord starting to be spread as well. There we have the expansion of EGMachine finishing. Some drones already on there, and still only going with drone production right now. No unit production, but a Roach Warren is being thrown down.
Now, whenever you do an early expand as Protoss, especially on Metalopolis where there's this wide open expo, the two things you're worried about are early big Roach pushes or Banelings. So we have to see how TTOne accounts for both of those. Again, he doesn't know what's coming. He has no more vision, so he has to prepare for both of those possibilities. We see that one Warp Gate is out. One Gateway is out and has made one Zealot, but what will he be making with his second round of production? It looks like he is just throwing down more Gateways as fast as he can.
So he can get those units out quickly, and he should, as we do have several Roaches on the way. Machine starting to add to those numbers. 5 will eventually be coming out. And also, he did go double queen on both of these hatcheries. So there we go. 4 Roaches out. 5th one rallied to the army, and it does look like he is going to push forward. As you mentioned, there is a large, I mean, there's only one cannon here at the ramp, and completely ignoring that. There we go. Cannon going down a little bit closer to the Nexus. See how long it'll take to get in. and he's going to put another one down in the back, but he could swing in here, do some damage to his pro line in the back.
Oh, it looks like the way that TTOne wanted to respond to this was to get the warp gate up as fast as possible, because there are 6 gateways total in the main, just desperate for that warp gate to finish, because once it's done, there's going to be a huge swell of stalkers, and it looks like TTOne's just going to pull back. His warp gate is very, very close to finishing. Even cancels a cannon. He realizes that he's safe. Just needs to get as many stalkers out as fast as he can, and there's the warp gate upgrade done. My God, that is a fast warp gate.
And this is going to be, I think, surprising the Machine as he just sees a ton of units being warped in. There they go. They're all starting to go. He's got to be worried about those. He does have 1 sentry out. The Zealots were softened just a little bit, but with the help of those stalkers, they might be able to take out these roaches. Indeed, they will. Doing some micro here on the Zealots, but no roach speed. Lair is just now finishing, and that was a great timing on that attack for TTOne as he defended quite well.
God, he is the Overlord Hunter. Look at that, taking out another Overlord, just finding one there. There's another one in the center of the map. That was phenomenal timing by TTOne, and this is the mindset of a very good player. He doesn't think to himself, how do I stay alive against roaches, and then panic and throw down 1,000,000 cannons or something like that. TTOne says, how do I defend against the roaches, but then immediately put pressure back on the opponent, and it is the 6 warp gate answer from TTOne, and here come a huge swell of units, not the gas heavy cute units of the sentries, but the meaty damaging units of Zealots and Stalkers.
And I guess to answer this, knowing that there was going to be a lot of gateway units, because Machine was able to count how many units were warping in. He had a good idea without actually having to see inside his base. He has thrown down a second hatch inside his main in order to get more units out with those larvae, or perhaps increase his drone production. Speed is about ready to complete, as well as roach speed. More roaches coming out right now. And then we've also got a 3rd base going up too.
Yeah, it looks like this 3rd base is going to help Machine, but not anytime soon. He still needs to worry about this huge push. TTOne doing a brilliant job, and looks like some Zerglings tried to poke at the front and did get shut down. No, don't retreat the Zerglings there. It reveals the Overlord. Oh, man, it looks like very narrow escape there. TTOne still warping in. Mostly Zealots. That's very interesting. Looks like he's primarily concerned with Zerglings, but it looks like even more pylons going down, because you have to have a lot of food to be able to support 6 warp gates of production.
And it looks like in a page out of a match that we just saw, the TLO going for that burrow, knowing that there's a pretty good chance that there's probably not a robo facility out, and that is accurate at this point. We do have weapons level 1 about ready to finish as well. This army by TTOne beginning to get a little bit more mobile, and he almost went up there, saw another Overlord. This is a massive army, you know, from a guy that early expanded and then had nothing, to see that he is rolling around with this crew is really impressive. Of course, Machine's number on his roaches also very nice.
In the unit counting station, we see that there are 21 roaches out right now for Machine, but he is surprisingly behind TTOne in terms of probe count. And TTOne did throw down a pylon with that scouting probe. He does know that there's this expansion here, but that is a very nice pylon placement. He can reinforce so easily. And there's Machine vomiting the creep. No chance of getting that expansion. Machine being very active of taking those out. That's how TTOne helped stay with the lead. Or excuse me, that's how Little One stayed with the lead against Huck, but at the same time, TTOne has a huge force coming in. Only 1 roach in production right now, and there it swings forward. Machine is totally caught off guard.
Totally caught off guard. His roaches are going to dart in here. Thankfully, they do have speed. Force fields are going to go down, forcing these roaches in the back to get it, and these Zealots will be the forward targets, but all these stalkers in the back is what Machine really has to be worried about. They will just chew apart those roaches, and now roaches on the retreat. They will burrow, but what are they going to do after that? Heal some health.
Total domination by TTOne with this huge army, 19 roaches in production, and Machine not using the burrow. That is so key in this situation. And now that he's lost the expansion, he is low on time. Everything rests on this defense, and there he is darting forward. Spinecrawler doing a little bit of damage, but look at the unit count of TTOne pulling everything back, even picking off Overlords and Overseers, but those roaches have finally chewed through the Zealots. He might be able to withstand this if he can get forward and start picking those stalkers off 1 by 1, but he is getting very low on units, and here comes TTOne with more reinforcements from the back, and Machine's roach count has evaporated, and he is darting into the front. There is almost nothing left in the force field at the ramp. The 2 hatches are defenseless. Good game. TTOne advances to the winners bracket finals. having torn through almost every major Zerg in this tournament, and we can see why now.
It is really impressive to see the handling of all that. I mean, it just looks like this guy plays nothing but PvZ. He had every little thing down there, from the pylon over at the side to attack the third, to the force field on the ramp at the end. I really like the amount of zealots that he had, and actually, Machine responded to those zealots quite well. He ended up splitting his roaches a little bit, forcing the zealots to come out. Lost TTOne lost a little bit of the damage from those stalkers, but that army was massive. That was pretty sexy army.
And you got to see from TTOne differences in when he moved out between game 1 and 2. It wasn't a robot who just always moved out at 60 food every time. In that first game, 3 big attacks. In that last game, just 1. He scouted with that probe along the backside, built a pylon there, and then saw that third going down and said, I'm going to attack that right when it's getting up and operational. And you saw that the last 2 production cycles for Machine were all drones, and that is right when TTOne moved in.
Yeah, it was great timing there by TTOne. Now, Machine may have been beat there 2-0, but he is still in the competition. Of course, dropped down to the losers bracket. Still some great competition out there, but look at how far Machine was able to make it just in the upper bracket. Really, really great games against some wonderful opponents. TTOne certainly no slouch. Good victory for him, and he will go on to face either Jinro or Pain User. Not sure if those games have even started yet. However, it's going to be exciting either way. So, before we take a quick break, we're actually going to go to an interview with our winner, TTOne. Let's check it out.